The Sharks get into St. Louis and take off with a split. We'll dial into it as long as Evander Kane doesn't take another penalty. Right now on Teal Town After Dark. Good evening, everyone. It is January 20th, 2021. The San Jose Sharks defeat the St. Louis Blues by a score of 2-1 in the shootout. We welcome you to this edition of Teal Town After Dark. This is your live and interactive Sharks postgame. We do this after every game the Sharks play. So if you want to be part of the show, here's how you do it. Chat with us and fellow Sharks fans on the page or the app. You can also follow us on the social, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Thanks, YouTube, for getting us out of there. SoundCloud, Reddit, and, of course, our Discord channel. You can find everything at tealtownusa.com. And, of course, if you would like to contribute and support the program, use the Super Chat function. Of course, we welcome those with the Venmo app at tealtownusa, where you get 100% of the contributions taken care of. I am joined by Mr. Al Martinet. Al, it's been a while. I think we did our last show. What did you say before we went on? Like the last home game before everything shut down?
It was the game before the Chicago game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the game before that one. Yeah, and it's been a while. I've been busy. It's been, COVID kind of screwed a lot of things up, but yeah, for the most part, I'm glad everyone's healthy, and hopefully you're healthy too. But yeah, it's good to see the Sharks win.
And likewise, my friend. I know you've been busy, and I know your hours have been crazy, but to say the least. But so was this game, where I thought the Blues had this game early on. The Sharks came on strong late in the third, which was kind of opposite of what they've been doing in the first three games of the season.
Yeah, I mean, the first two periods, they controlled the face-off. They controlled kind of the flow of the game. Some of that's because of Evander Kane, but which you'll get into.
Oh, yeah.
But, a slow start, a bad second period, but Jones probably had one of his best games in a long time.
Yeah, Jones looked really sharp on this night. I thought really good, especially in the shootout. Of course, it doesn't help that some of the Blues missed the net in the shootout for sure. But even when they got him on, it was a solid save all around. But let's get into it. I mean, mostly, Al, we're going to be talking about a lot of penalties here. This was a little bit of a sloppy game, even though I thought St. Louis really, I thought that they got on the Sharks early on, but granted, no scoring after 20 minutes. But you had Kane take a slashing call, you had Perron taking a hooking call, you had Parayko with a puck over glass. And we'll get into Kane's night, which involved a rooster trick of penalties, unfortunately. But I wonder if Bennington said something to Kane to get that gut shot.
It's like, dude, I'm sure I can pay for this fine, but maybe you can't.
Yeah.
But it's just, you can't allow that to happen. I know. For Evander Kane, there's a lot of things that get said to him that many other players don't. But I'm kind of hoping that his play doesn't regress to when he was a Buffalo Sabre, or, if you may, a Atlanta Thrashers player.
Yeah.
So, and he had a bad rap for, taking undisciplined penalties, being really inconsistent, which we saw briefly at the end of the last season. So hopefully this is not a trend, but with Kane, you're very worried about what he's going to do when everyone knows he's bankrupt, and the play on the ice is kind of showing that effort.
Yeah, you got to wonder if that's weighing in his head a little bit, especially when you take 4 penalties tonight. It's tough to suggest, and of course that a lot of these guys are going to kind of bait him because he can be a little bit of a hothead. So, hey Al, do me a favor. Turn off your video and turn it back on. You look like you kind of got like the yeah. There we go. Now we got you in color.
It looks fine on my end.
Yeah, no, you're good.
But on
my end, it looked a
YouTube,
little weird. So,
yeah.
but let's get into the chat, shall we? Let's see what the fans have said. Austin Lynch, hey, I know you've been on Let's Go Blues Radio, and he's like, can't wait for more Sharks Blues games this season. I thought these 2 games were pretty good. Chris, good to see you, bud. I dump on Jones a lot less if he could find some consistency. Yeah, go. I don't know, bud.
No, I just saw the change.
Yeah,
But I think I think as long with Jones, I think it's game by game still with him. I think it's too early to say what would happen with Dubnyk. This was Jones's first real good game against a great team. I do expect the Blues to make the playoffs and be top 3 in the divisions.
Oh, absolutely.
So I just playing against Arizona is not the best test of what someone's going to be like throughout the season.
Yeah. And you're definitely going to have a lot more of those, especially when Colorado is at the end of the road trip. Minnesota is a team that you're going to be fighting for to get into the playoffs if you're going to do it. I think also you look at other teams that are going to be fighting for positioning, if you're going to do it. Phantom 0044, better defense today. Wasn't perfect, but it was better. Hey, you only allowed 1 goal. There was some scrambles, but I thought they did a pretty good job. Gooey, good evening to you. Lucky the PK bailed out all of Kane's penalties tonight. Martin Jones was excellent, and so was Bennington. Yeah, just
yeah. I mean, I thought the Sharks for the first period were decent. I thought they were a little bit slow. At least they had some chances, but it is starting to be more of a trend that the face-offs aren't going to be a thing that the Sharks are going to be known for. Take it, they lost Thornton. Marlowe is now your center. The depth is just not there for the Sharks.
Right, and I think they're trying to spread it with where Patty, gets a. Well, I thought he jumped into the top 6 later in the game, so we'll see what happens on that. We are getting some quotes tonight from Bob Bugner. EK65 looked like he had his legs tonight, making the right plays. If you watch the game, you could see he tried to simplify it a little bit. I thought EK65 had a decent game. Yeah, he didn't get on the score sheet, but I thought he looked a lot better and made some simple plays that I think helped the team in the long run.
Yeah, I think one simple plays, but I think it was just more or less slowing down forwards that were, that was the big error from yesterday where he allowed Shorts, I think, to score or at least crash the net. The problem with having Burns and EK is that you have to at least, bring them up, create more chances that way. And that kind of hurts Jones a lot. You saw that a lot of times, even like on a 4-on-4 where the Sharks were not back in time, which is something that is probably going to be a bigger issue, not just for Jones, but Dubnyk, because the Sharks are just going to take chances with Burns and EK.
Yeah. Keep going with some of the comments here. Kane got into penalty trouble, but I thought 2 of those calls were iffy. He had 4 on the night. I think honestly, I think all 4 of them were pretty legit. in my mind.
Yeah.
He just had a bad night, and we already kind of got into that a little bit. But the Blues weren't exactly angels themselves either, as both teams combined for 0 for 12 on the power play, and it was kind of funny. I don't know if you caught this. I think Sheng Peng did on Twitter, but rare to see the Sharks. Rare to see the power play percentage higher than the PK percentage.
I mean, the bigger issue with the power play is they're just not creating enough chances from the forwards. A lot of times you see, Erik Karlsson passing it to Burns, and that's where the offense is kind of going. And sometimes it works out, but you don't see a lot of chances where you pass it to Couture, he tries to dive it to the net or crash it to the net. It's all the same playbook. And so if ever EK or Burns go through a slump, this power play is going to halt. There's not going to be any movement. And that's the bigger issue. I just don't see Couture creating enough chances right now, or even Hurdle for that matter.
Yeah, no, I mean, you definitely got to see what these guys are doing. Let's see, continuing on here and trying to find some other stuff. The chat. Go ahead.
Is LeBanc even on the power play?
I think he's on the second unit. He had a total of 317 of power play time on the night. So he was a -1 with 6 shots, and only Timo Meier had more shots on goal in this game tonight for the Sharks. Turned out to be nothing big, but Banker definitely had a chance there in the overtime. What did you think of the overtime though? My goodness. Almost like they were trying
for the overtime. After the second period, I thought the Sharks kind of controlled the play a lot. You saw them the third period shots were like 13 to 4 or something of that degree.
Mm-hmm.
And even that extended into the overtime, I thought the Sharks had a lot of decent chances. After the Sorensen goal, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
You saw them at least getting back from at least taking chances in offense and then skating back into the neutral zone, which when they don't do that, they give up easy goals that Jones just can't really stop.
Definitely. And it seems like, in overtime in the shootout, Jones has been playing well. For your credit, from the third period on, the Sharks outshot the Blues 18-4, including a mighty 1-0 in overtime. Oh man, yeah. It seems like they were really trying not to take chances, almost like it's overcoached a little bit nowadays with the 3-on-3. Unfortunately, I don't know what's going on with your camera, but and I'm hardwired in now, so I thought that would have taken care of it, but we'll go with it and we'll just toggle back and forth with it. But your audio's good, so we'll go with that. Hockey Jerk with his hashtag hot take, Ryan Donato was the best Sharks forward tonight. Speaking of Ryan Donato, and I'm with you, Jerk, I thought Donato had a really strong game tonight. Let's talk about the non-goal, or the the goal that kind of went
another
off
non-goal or goal for the Sharks, or a goal that got waved off or off.
Yeah, it's like, when did we get Tommy Wingles back? With 11 seconds to go, literally, Donato's just standing right in front of right in the crease. He's established himself. Bennington kind of skates over, runs himself into freaking Bennington. The puck goes off of the skate, and then boom, puck goes in I think it should have counted. What says you?
I hate to disagree with you, but like, if goaltend NHL is always going to give the goaltenders the first right. So maybe I would say if that was more of a veteran, they probably would have stepped out of the blue zone a little bit more. But we can get into this whole thing about scoring on NHL, but I really don't think it probably should have not counted, and it didn't. Yeah. All the playbook, the NHL rules, and just the way the NHL officiates kind of dictates that. And you can kind of see that the way that many of the Sharks players reacted to the no goal. It's like, fine, we get it. We're on the same playbook. We're on the same rules here. But if this was a playoff game, I would have been furious because offense is what attracts most people to the game. Sure. And there's just simply not enough of that.
Right. Although, and Chris has said it as well, I don't see any way that you can allow a goal for like that because anytime the goalie, wait, where is it going? Get back over here. Anytime the goalie leaves the crease, players will try to establish themselves deep in the crease. It won't work. And I get that, and that's kind of agreement with what you said, Al, in that sense, because then you could have some guy just park himself right in front of the net, and well, next thing you have players getting in the way of the net and causing all kinds of issues, and it's not going to happen.
I mean, that used to be that used to be the enforcer role where you had, an enforcer guard stand in front of him and screen the goalie, but that position has kind of gone away for the third line, players who can be more of a speed threat and can shoot a lot better. That's classic hockey, not really working out in the current NHL.
Yep. It is what it is. I mean, but that's how we.
Was there anything that's the highlight for you for the Sharks?
Well, I mean, Sorensen's goal was nice. I mean, like I tweeted out on the Teal Town USA Twitter, it was against the Blues. Guy gets shoots and scores and is leaping over. I mean, but like PK Subban would say, as Don Cherry, Bobby Orr, but definitely gave him the best impression of Bobby Orr on that one. So,
yeah,
but it was a nice goal.
Sorensen was definitely
yeah. I thought Jones had some nice plays in the shootout. I thought he held the fort down, even though limited shots from the third period onward, as we mentioned before, to keep the Sharks in this game. But what it is, the Sharks pick up 2 points. 2 points that they really needed to keep pace with everybody in the blankety blank division. The
West Division.
Yeah, the West Division.
Which makes no sense, but we'll keep it going.
Yeah. So they get up to 4 points now. They're actually technically tied with Colorado and Minnesota at number 3, but because of their games they've played, along with having 0 regulation overtime wins. Remember, both wins have come by the way of the shootout. That's going to lower them down. Rows are going to be very, very critical down the road. So,
yeah, I mean, great win against St. Louis, not Vegas, but the Sharks do need to string, regulation wins. You can't give up 1 point to Arizona. That's just not a sign of a good hockey team. I think there's still a shot for them to make it to a potential wild card, but Minnesota has been surprisingly good. Again, They've been playing against the Ducks, I think, for the first 2 or 3 games. So kind of waiting to see if what there possibly could be like down the road. But
Yeah.
this division is going to be very tight. But the top three are probably going to be Vegas, St. Louis, and Colorado.
Yeah. No, I'm with you on that with Vegas, St. Louis, Colorado. Uh, I think that was kind of a given when they announced the division, to be honest. So, but you know,
It,
let's see what else we got going here. Austin Lynch, there's the spanner here. Austin Lynch, no mean to burst y'all's bubbles, but tonight will be the only time the Sharks are tied with the Avs in the standings. Sorry, and you're absolutely right. But one timer with the comeback with wow, the Avs are going to be that bad, Austin. I'm not quite sure that's how it's going to work. But
phrasing.
Steve Rector, Avs are straight up Lakers level stacked. They are talking about resting people for the sake of resting them. Like, what, WTF? Yeah, we don't need to have the evolution of load management come in to the NHL. Rob Hyman saying Shimmick and Knizhov, a serviceable third pair. What did you take from the defense tonight, which has been highly criticized, especially coming into tonight's game? Along with Jones stops 22 of 23 on the night. So,
yeah, I thought the defense was decent. They kind of stopped a lot of good chances from developing. There was a couple of times when Hurdle was aware of the puck, or at least aware of what St. Louis was trying to do, and poked it away. Kind of cautious on Meyer. Seems like he's still kind of a slow start to the season right now. But EK was good. The only real goal they let up was when Burns, or it wasn't Burns, but when the forwards just didn't get back in time, and that led to the one goal for St. Louis.
And they had a good play. I thought even LeBanc backed off a little bit as Krug went in on that play. So which led to opening chance for Schenn to get his second of the season. That came at 4:27 of the second period, and then, of course, the 2 penalties by St. Louis. Then Kane takes a questionable tripping call, I think, to end a 5-on-3. But Sorensen from Nieto and Ferraro at 17:57 gets that game tied up at 1. More comments coming in. Donato on EK65. He can do everything. He's a guy that you want to learn from. He finds plays. He creates space. He does a lot of things that even to hockey players hard to understand. And he definitely was all over the ice. And so was Burnsy, I thought, tonight. I thought Carlson kind of carried the play a little bit with the guys tonight. And, it's hopefully a sign of things to come where the Sharks only allow maybe one goal or less, or if Brody, if you're watching, if you're off the air now, hashtag 2 or fewer,
that's still a thing.
No, but if it keeps going, our boy Brody will bring it back up for sure. So the Sharks will head off to Minnesota for a 2-game set starting Friday, I believe, and Friday and Saturday. But it's a good victory, and now they're going to head to Minnesota to continue this road trip, where 2 winnable games, I think, against a Minnesota team that the Sharks can really take out.
Yeah, these are the type of games where you have to win them in regulation, like I said before. If you don't, then you're really going to be trailing once we get into the end of the season, which is just season still ends in April.
May, right? May 8th should be the Sharks' last game, pending postponements and everything, which we've seen.
And right now, there hasn't been any any COVID scenarios with the Sharks, but you're seeing a lot in the NBA, early on in the NFL. There will be a point in this season where games are going to be rescheduled. So that is something to at least be on the lookout for. And also, we don't know if the Sharks are going to play a home game at all in Santa Clara.
Yeah, and kind of to go off a little bit there, in that sense, Carolina's had games postponed. I think most recently with the Panthers, their 2-game set has been postponed. They had some also earlier earlier in the week. Of course, Dallas is about to get underway with their season. So definitely a lot of COVID concerns going on. Of course, we saw today the Washington Capitals get fined $100,000 for not following mask protocols, which, I mean, if
some of that's movie though, or yeah,
I mean it's it's not good. It's not good to have these concerns, and all more sense for them to say, hey, if we want to stop this, we'll get into a bubble. And I don't think you guys want to get into a bubble. Am I right? So, but, as for getting back to SAP, the backup plan is to play in Arizona if the Shark Tank isn't available. Which makes sense, I guess. They started their season in Scottsdale, and it sucks. And
there is,
go ahead.
There is no guarantees the Sharks are gonna play in Santa Clara. If they showed this authority on the 49ers and, gosh, even like the Earthquakes, and I think it was San Jose State too.
Yep.
There just wasn't football. There just wasn't professional sports this year. So sorry to say, Evan Angel's not the priority of Santa Clara.
Yeah.
49ers.
No. Yeah. No.
It used to be.
Yeah. I think Stanford's playing in at the arena where the Santa Cruz Warriors play, just to get around that. So. Berube calling out his team after this loss tonight. We have a lot of guys that aren't skating and aren't competing hard enough.
Chris.
I would have expected that from an 8-0 loss, not a 2-1 shootout loss, but my goodness. I mean, come on.
I mean, their power play wasn't that great.
No.
Some of that untimely penalties, but there just wasn't, just like the Sharks. I mean, we were 0 for 7, they were 0 for 5. So they will be the top 3 for sure, and their cycle game is going to be one of the best. But I still think they're missing that lead from God, what was this? That from the free agent signing from Vegas. I'm trying to think what his name was. Bertangelo, yeah.
Yeah. Not exactly the best. Chris S. Bubble equals not getting laid for a few months. You want that, guys? Well, no, but maybe if they just do the simple thing, wear the mask, or do the protocols, maybe we won't get into this issue. Not to go down the rabbit hole there, for sure. Phantom 044 trying to say something I've already done, actually. Your homework is to make an Arizona Sharks jersey. Well, my friend, you are in luck. Let me just pull this up here since it's up on the side. Did you ever see this, Al?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
It's
welcome to Jersey Talk. We will.
That's right.
Be here for another hour and a half.
Oh, whoa.
Hockey Jerk will join us and like this.
Careful what you wish for, my friend. Let's see here. If you're joining us, thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button down below. We do this after each and every single game. Here we go. There you go. That's what I came out with a nice little Kachina reverse retro look to it. So there you go, Phantom 0044. It should be a. Not gonna lie, I think I kind of like it. Maybe a little too much orange, but it makes sense for with all of that going on. So
Yeah, I mean, I kind of like. I've always liked the orange on the third gen. So I've talked about the shoulder patches.
yeah,
So I always thought they could have expanded that just a little bit more. So yeah, I mean,
yeah. All right.
I definitely like the bottom a lot too.
Yes, no, that reverse retro is actually fun, to have and shoot. That's one of the ones that I really really loved tonight for sure, or not tonight, but overall one of my favorite ones. So
Chris wants a Sharks Breaking Bad mashup.
oh, interesting. Okay, we can maybe look into that, see what we can do there. So, all right. Well, that's it. I think for tonight. The Sharks win 2-1 in the shootout. They will play Friday in Minnesota, begin that 2-game series, and then they'll head over to Colorado for a 2-game set after that next week. So be on the lookout for that. Of course, we are your live and interactive Sharks postgame for each and every game, so hit that subscribe button for sure there. If you missed anything or you want to catch this again, check us out at tealtownusa.com or your favorite podcast, whether it's Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, you name it, you love it. If we're not on it, let us know so we can get on there for sure. Al, as always, as you go, your nice little filter. I don't know what the heck's going on with that.
I don't know what that was, but it seemed like it was working fine towards the end.
Yeah, no, it was working fine because I'm hardwired. Laurel, if you want it, you know what AJ's told you to do. I'm just saying. So, I'm just saying. So, let me see that super chat donation. If you want, I know. You don't need to pout. You don't need to pout. It is what it is. So, all right. Well, with that, unless we get a donation for the wraparound, Al, thank you. Good to see you, bud. I know you have a crazy weird schedule with your line of work. So, your final thoughts and where the people can find you.
Just to make it clear, I'm a newscast director. I'm not like some midnight assassin that works from 1 a.m. to 10 a.m. So, but
so he says, folks.
Look, I don't want to know what you do at 1 a.m. All right,
I'm sleeping. Thank you very much. Except for every 4 weeks in on a Sunday. So, Chris is getting a reach around sponsorship incoming on Venmo. But your temporary final thoughts and where the people can find you.
You can find me on Twitter. I'm Al Martinet. I talk hockey, I talk sports, talk video games, and I'm there every day. Come say hi. It's lonely. Just kidding. But no, this is gonna be one of those weird seasons that I don't think is gonna matter any long term to the Sharks. If the Sharks do, in fact, get off to a slow start, lose 2 against Minnesota, I think you have to seriously consider what to do with Kane and Vlasic. See if they will be open to trade. But that is a very, very much long-term what if the Sharks lose the next 6.
Gotcha. John, thank you for the $2 super chat. Appreciate that for Laurel. Chris has also done it. So, folks, you want it, you love it, you're gonna get it. It's time.
Have the goddamn common courtesy to give him a reach around.
It's wraparound. All right, quickly through these scores. Canucks and Canadiens late in the third period, tied at 5-5. Bo Horvat with a pair of goals in that one. In late in the third period as well, the Desert Dogs are losing to the Vegas Golden Knights, who are literally golden tonight. 5-2. Pietrangelo has his first goal as a Golden Knight. Shea Theodore with a pair of goals there. In what some people were calling the most boring game between Matthews versus McDavid, the Oilers win 3-1 over the Maple Leafs there. San Ramon native Austin Matthews with the lone goal for the Leafs. And the Wild beat the Ducks 3-2 as former Shark prospect Nick Bonito gets the goal there. The Ducks, well, yeah. They're 1-2-1 on the campaign. Yeah. So that is your reach around for the evening. And as always, for future references, reach around sponsorships will be made by Venmo at Teal Town USA. Of course, now $1.49 from One Timer. Thank you, A Purple Cat. Not sure why, but okay. Also, of course, Joe Thornton got injured, and according to Leafs coach Sheldon Keefe, he will be missing a considerable amount of time. So, unfortunately for Jumbo, that's a tough one to take, especially since he was, for the most part on the Leafs' top line beginning of the season, which I was kind of surprised by.
And he was holding his hip, which can mean 100 different things, but both his left and right leg have had surgery. He is 40 plus years old. It was a simple check. It wasn't a hard check. But it did not look that good.
Yeah. So we send our best to Jumbo on that one, but wish him well. Tough one to see. Leafs lose that one. At least we got a Bay Area shout out with San Ramon native Austin Matthews scoring there. All right. So Al, again, thank you very much. Appreciate you jumping in. All the best to you, bud. Stay safe out there. I'm at PuckGuy14 on the Twitter and the Instagram. We'll be back with you on Friday following Sharks and Wild. We appreciate Port. And, of course, tell all your friends. Oh, boy. We need a Jerry Lewis-style graphic for the reach around funding each show. Really? We're going to do that now? Oh, boy. All right. Well, that's it for us. We'll be back with you Friday. And until then, keep it real. Keep it teal. Keep it real teal. Have a great night, everyone. We'll see you Friday.
Real teal.